Hello and welcome to my Foxumentary. I'm your child actor, Fox. I thought I'd switch up the intro a little bit and let me know if you like it. But I saw Bring Her Back and I have some thoughts. Bring Her Back was released in 2025 and was directed by brothers Danny and Michael Filippo, best known for the movie Talk to Me from 2022 and their YouTube channel, Raka Raka. Bring Her Back is about a brother and sister uncovering a terrifying ritual at the secluded home of their new foster mother, and a lot of dark stuff happens. I've been looking forward to this movie for such a long time. Ever since Talk to Me, I've been really eager to see what else the Filippo brothers do. This one I've just been so excited to see. I love the trailer. It's so spooky and mysterious. So excited for this to come out. And it didn't disappoint. Bring Her Back is an improvement in technique and storytelling for the brothers. Bring Her Back is an improvement in technique and storytelling for the brothers, as well as a deeper delve into their darker supernatural vision. I don't know if the movies are connected, Talk to Me and Bring Her Back, but they kind of share this really dark supernatural horror that I feel like we haven't seen a lot of. So I love their take on it. This movie really scared me at times, to be honest, more so than Talk to Me. To the point that the night after seeing the movie, in the middle of the night, I was woken up by my cat, and I couldn't go back to sleep because in my sleep haze, I kept seeing the face of the kid from the movie, and I just couldn't fall back asleep. I wanted to turn on all the lights because it freaked me out so bad. And I haven't had that happen in a long time. And I definitely think that's one thing that people will take away from Bring Her Back. It is disturbing and scary. Again, more so than Talk to Me. I think Talk to Me had its own moments where it was really creepy. And I think that Bring Her Back turned that up to 11. They really improved on that, and that was just so cool to see and compare in my head. I think Bring Her Back was just so nerve-wracking and suspenseful, and the pacing was just unmatched. I think they really got it down to a T in this movie that they didn't have in Talk to Me. It was just very refined, and I really appreciated that. Overall, the storytelling was very well done, in conjunction to other factors like the acting. Sally Hawkins, who played Laura, the foster mom, she was incredible. She did an amazing job being so painfully two-faced. There were times where I just couldn't tell if I liked her or if I hated her up to a certain point. But that's spoiler territory. I hope you guys go out and see this and experience how I felt. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Another actor that I think did a great job was Jonah Ren Phillip, who played the kid, Ollie. He played the possessed kid, the one that was always leering in the background in the trailers. He did a fantastic job of playing this possessed person, but not really like a possessed kid as you would see it in like The Exorcist. He was inhuman in this role, and he did a fantastic job. And even when he wasn't being that inhuman character, because there were points in the movie where he was a kid and he had very limited dialogue, but his actions and what he did say really portrayed his character. So by the end, it makes you feel certain things. And again, I don't want to get into spoilers, but he really was the center focal point of the movie, and I think that he needs to be commended highly for what he did, especially as a child actor, and what he went through, the physicality and the prosthetics and makeup that he had to put on, I'm sure were a lot. It was delightful to see his performance in conjunction with a lot of the visual effects on Ollie's character. You could tell that a lot of the effects were practical, and I think in the best way possible, because they looked realistic, but they didn't take you out of enjoying the movie. I think every single aspect of the movie just drilled into the dreadfulness of the scenario and made certain aspects of it just so much creepier. And I really appreciated that. And not to mention the VHS video segments, the found footage. I thought that was really cool. Part of me still isn't sure how like fully necessary it was to have those. I think they were good transition parts, but I still think they were very interesting to see, like, and how they were done and how they looked very VHS like. I think that kind of goes into like special effects. So I thought that was really cool. I know I've given a lot of praise to this movie because it deserves it, but obviously everything isn't perfect. And there were some things that I didn't like. Not a ton, but I think the biggest glaring issue to me was Sora Wong's character, Piper. Going into the movie, I didn't know that she was going to be a main character. I also didn't know that she was going to be blind or partially blind. So it was a surprise that they did that, and I was very excited when I got into it. I was like, oh, this will be really cool. This will, especially in a horror setting, and having her be a POC and disabled is always something I'm fascinated to see in media because we don't get enough of it. But I feel like the writing for the character was its biggest blunder. I feel like they didn't have enough to back her up as a character independently from her brother Andy, played by Billy Barrett, who I think he was a good character. Like, I think he was a good protagonist. And I understand that they had to be connected, that all they had for each other was their connection as siblings. But I wish that they would have delved into Piper's character more and made her independent. And maybe that's like how the movie was supposed to be, because by the end she does find her independence, and I liked her near the end. But I think throughout the movie they didn't portray her needing someone else for support well. They kind of just made her very infantile and quite frankly annoying. They made her super whiny in my opinion, and I wish that there would have been more to back that up, in the sense of like making her more of like a kid in certain ways. But I feel like a lot of the relationship between the two and what's shown is just kind of thrown in there and kind of like for plot convenience, which is really deeply unfortunate because they missed a whole opportunity. I think it would have been cool to have her as like a portrayal of young POC disabled person, like navigating social media and phones and how they have to communicate. I think they had a point where she was using her phone a certain way, which was really cool, and I wanted to see more of that. They did have points where they did have her do stuff, but it just didn't make sense. To me, it felt thrown in. That definitely marked down the movie for me. But overall, I would give this movie an 8.5 out of 10. I really didn't have any other issues outside of that. I definitely recommend seeing it in theaters. They did a really cool effect at the beginning of the movie, and they probably did it throughout, but I was like so focused on so many other things that I didn't notice. But like at the very beginning they had like audio that went like almost 360 around you, and I thought that was so creepy and so cool as a way to set up the movie. And I am excited to see people make video essays and stuff, because Talk to Me had a lot of like deeper meaning and symbology to it. So I'm excited to see what comes out or what people say and what different parts mean different things. Like I said, I recommend seeing it in theaters because not only was it just a really interesting theater experience, but it supports the Filippo brothers. And I need to throw them a ball because, of course, I think they deserve all the attention they can get for future movies. I'm excited to see what they come out with next. I also want to quickly add, like, before you see the movie, just make sure you check your trigger warnings. It is a disturbing movie, so there might be some scenes that make people uncomfortable, so I just thought I'd let you know. But let me know your thoughts on the movie down below. If you have any suggestions on what else I should watch, let me know. Check out my shorts and other socials below. I post trailer reviews on them and hopefully other stuff to come. But thank you for taking the time to watch my Foxumentary. Thank you. Bye!